Welcome to the Board Game Network. This is James. I am going to explain how to play this game called The Godfather A New Don. Plays 3 to 6 players in about 45 minutes, and it's essentially a die rolling game. So here's all the setup right here. Is you take a screen that has a family name on it, you take all of your soldiers, and you take 5 dice of your color. You're going to take one of your soldiers and put it on the 0 zone out here, so everybody's going to have it out there. You're going to turn the map on. This is a 3 and 4 player map, and the other side is a 5 and 6 player map. You're going to put your 3 Vegas die here, and that's all there is to the setup. Everybody's going to roll a die, and whoever the high die roll is becomes the Godfather for the first turn. They take their soldier off of the 0 zone and move it onto the 3, which is dark red, so you can remember where the Godfather starts. And then you're ready to go. And here's the turn order track right here. And phase 1 is roll for Vegas. So that rolls here. Now that's not going to do anything for the very first turn of the game because the Vegas dice actually get passed out to whoever has soldiers on these dice, and that hasn't happened on turn 1 yet. Phase 2 is players roll dice and request favors. So behind their screens, everybody's going to roll their dice. And you're trying to claim territories out here. There's different districts. This is District 2 because all of the dice out here have a 2 on them. This is District 4. Here's District 6, District 5, District 1. So you are trying to figure out ways of claiming districts. So you definitely want the most of the same kind of number. Or there are ones that have 3 blank faces and have an arrow. That means it's a straight. So this one has a 4 under it with 3 blank faces. So this is a straight, but you have to have a 4 in that straight somewhere. So it can be a 4, 5, 6, a 3, 4, 5, a 2, 3, 4. And then there's other ones, like here's a 5 that's a straight. So there's a straight for each district also. So there's overlap between them on straights. So you could look at your numbers, and I could use this die as a 1, 2, 3, or I could use it as 2 2s. There's 2 2s and 2 3s. See where the 3s are at. So I could claim 2 districts if I save those. I can claim 1 district if I save those. And what you're doing is you're trying to figure out what you want to keep, and then you're going to offer as a favor to the Godfather the one you don't want. So you're going to take one of your die and put it out here, and that just happens simultaneously. Everybody's going to take a die and put it out. And the blue is the Godfather, so purple is going to take a die and set the purple die out. The Godfather does not do this. He keeps his die behind his screen. He's got his rolled also. And so he's going to look at the 1. He's going to just start to his left, look at the 1 and say, yeah, I'll accept that. The red person saying, you know what, Godfather, I want to offer you this as a requesting a favor. My daughter, she gets in trouble with this boy. And so he's offering a favor. And so the Godfather looks at that and says, yes, I'll accept your favor if he wants that die. And then he goes to the next one, to the player to the left, and just goes around in a circle. Now, if he does not want to die, he can make a different offer. Make an offer the person cannot refuse. So instead of the 2 for purple, he may say, you know what, I would prefer a 6. So if purple behind his screen has a 6, he's going to take that out and give it to the Godfather. Now, once the Godfather accepts one of your favors, you get to take one of your soldiers and put it out on the favor track for whichever number that he accepted. If you offered this favor and he accepted it, you get to put a soldier on that number. If you offer a number and he comes back with an offer you can't refuse, and you have that, you actually get to put your soldier on either die. So you, in this case, a 2 or the 6, whichever one, and 6 is better than 2. So he would be able to take the 6. Now if he asks for a 6 and you don't have a 6, you have to show him all of your die. Show that you don't have it, and then you actually get to keep all of yours, and you put your soldier on the number that you originally offered him, what the original offer was. So that's the 3 different things that could happen there. Then you resolve your dice, and right before you resolve your dice, everybody can do a re-roll if they want to of their dice. Behind their screens, whichever ones they have left over, they can re-roll any number of them that they want to try to get a different number. You now resolve your die. So the Godfather starts. He looks at all of his dice, including the favor dice that were given to him, and he tries to claim territory. So he can look at that and go, well, there's 2 6s, so I'm going to claim 2 6s. And there's Chinatown, but you'll notice Tribeca also has 2 6s. So there may be more than one place that has the same die combination. Here's 2 5s, so he can claim 2 5s also. You can claim as many territories as you can, but once you've claimed territory using a die, those die go behind the screen. You've used them, you can't use them again. And then whatever's left over, the Godfather cannot use. He cannot invest in Vegas, he cannot increase his muscle. But that's what the leftover die is for, and the Godfather can't do that. And he also cannot use favor track to claim his districts, whereas the regular other families can. So then it goes to the next player to the left, and he looks at his die and he claims, well, there's 2 2s, and here's 2 3s, wherever the 3s went. 2 3s. There's 2 3s. Now, if you have soldiers on these spots on the favor track, you can use those on your turn anytime. You can use as many as you want in any order that you want. And the way these work is, if you have a soldier on number 1, that lets you re-roll dice, any number of dice. So you would take a soldier off and you would re-roll any of your dice that you want to re-roll. And so you can do that again if you have more soldiers on there. This one lets you add or subtract 1 to any die. This one lets you move to an empty adjacent neighborhood. So as long as it shares a border, you could move from here over to there. And 4 6s is definitely harder to roll than 2 6s. So you might be trying to move up in the neighborhood, or you might be wanting to move to a different district so that you can have a majority into a different district, which is how scoring at the end works. Or you can also move across a bridge. That's considered adjacent also. This one lets you change 1 die to any side. So you just take the die and move it to change the side. This one lets you duplicate a die result. So in this case, where you had 2 2s and 2 3s, you could actually make 3 3s out of this, and you still have your 2 2s. It gives you another die that matches one that you already have. And this number 6 lets you do any of the first 5. So 6 is obviously the best of the bunch. And then whatever's left over, once you've used your die, so let's say purple has used his die, and this is what's left, a 6 and a 3. You can take that and you can invest in Vegas, and it doesn't matter what the number on the die is. You can take a soldier and put it on any number in Vegas that is empty. Can't have a soldier in it. So you say, well, I'm going to take that one and invest in Vegas. And you say, I'm going to take that one and increase my muscle. Right now he's at 0. And it doesn't matter if you're at 0 or any of the letters, you start counting from 1. So that would put him at 6. And you can combine these if you want to and add them up and total your muscle. So the die can be used in any combination between Vegas and increasing your muscle. So you can put multiple soldiers in Vegas, you can add dice to get muscle, but this is die that you could not use to claim territory. Then once you've done that, you go to phase 5. However, in phase 4, if you have a die combination that has all been taken, so let's say you've rolled 2 2s, and blue is in 2 2s, 2 2s. There's only 2 territories with 2 2s, and you have that die roll. Well, you can muscle blue out of there. And the way you do that is, to start with, there can't be an open space that matches the die roll that you have, that you're trying to use. And you have to have more muscle on the muscle track than him, so you have to be to the right of him. And it doesn't matter whether you're down in the letters or on the numbers, you have to be to the right of the person you're muscling out. There can only be 1 soldier on each space in the muscle, so you can't have 2 on the same number. So when you're increasing your muscle, if you roll so that you would put it on the same spot as another player, you actually get put to the next space that's open to the left. So whoever's there first gets the advantage. And so if you're able to muscle somebody out, you take them out and you put the replaced soldier on the favor track based on which district he's in. So this is district 2, so he gets put on the 2 track, the 2 of the favor die, the favor track. Okay, and then a new Godfather is appointed. And the way that works is everybody gets shifted all the way to the left that they can get shifted, staying in the same order, so you're just closing up all the gaps, pushing all the way to the left, and whoever's farthest to the right becomes the new Godfather, and they get put on the 3. And then you start over with rolling for Vegas. So the new Godfather is going to roll for Vegas, and let's throw some die. Let's throw some soldiers out here. Let's say those are out there. Well, whoever is on the Vegas track in the die that are rolled gets those die. So in this case, purple, which is the new Godfather, would be able to claim those, even though the Godfather can't invest in Vegas at the end of his turn. He can already have soldiers there when the die is rolled, and you get all the die that match the number you're on. And if there's no matching soldier, that one just doesn't get used. And then when you get ready to roll, you can roll those behind your screen, or you can keep them the way they are to start with. If you do keep them and don't re-roll them, you definitely don't want to make that known that you're not re-rolling, because that gives the Godfather an advantage when he's asking for offers. So the game just continues like that until one district is completely full, or one player has all of their soldiers out of their house. So they're somewhere on the board out here, and he has none back here. That signals the end of the game. You finish the round, but that's the end of the game. And so the way scoring works is you look at every district, and whoever has the majority territories in each district scores based on this here. So in District 6, majority is 9, second majority is 6, third is 3. If there's a tie for one space, then they both get the next lower. So if there's a tie for first, they both get second, and then whoever was in second place would get third. Whoever was in third would get bumped off and not get anything. Same thing with if you tie for second or you tie for third, then you're bumped down to fourth, which is no points. And you'll notice each district has a different number of points. And so you total those points up, and then you also get bonus for the most soldiers that are in your house. So the ones that aren't on the map somewhere, whoever has the most gets 3 points, second most is 2, third is 1, and you do the tie the same way you did ties on the board. And so you just total that up, and that's how you score and see who the winner is for the Godfather A New Don. Make sure you tune into all of our videos here at the Board Game Network.